And Meet the Leaders is on the road. It's a big day here in Albany. There's no question about it. It's the New York State Association of Black and Puerto Rican Legislators. And we are pleased to have Senator Parker, who's with us, heading up the communications, among other things, department. And it's good to have you with us. How are you?
No, great to be here. This is a wonderful event that we're doing today.
Well, it's very exciting. You've got a lot of turnout. And what have you found most intriguing to you this year?
Well, again, as you know, I represent, South Central Brooklyn, Flatbush, East Flatbush, Midwood, Dippers Park, Windsor Terrace, and Park Slope. There are people here from my district, there are people from around the state talking about the important issues, whether it's education, whether it's, the legalization of cannabis. People are here talking about things like Bitcoin, home ownership, financial literacy, you name it. All the important issues that every New Yorker cares about are being talked about this weekend at this conference.
What in particular is what you're interested in? Communications, energy, what these days is important?
Yeah, well, again, as the chair of the Energy and Telecommunications Committee, earlier this morning I actually hosted a session on climate change and the impact, particularly of communities of color. So some of that is about the impacts, ecologically, but there's also some opportunities in terms of business to address the issues of climate change in our communities, and those issues were discussed as well.
Was there a good turnout? Were people interested?
Oh, this is a fantastic turnout. I mean, people are interested not just in, the opportunities around climate change, but people are interested in all of the myriad issues. But it's a great opportunity to kind of rub shoulders with your local legislators and to have a chance to talk to them. The mayor of New York City is here, the school chancellor's here. There are elected officials and commissioners of big agencies, and so it's just really a great opportunity as a civic-minded person to have a conversation that you might not ordinarily be able to have.
Do you feel any frustration in that Washington doesn't necessarily find these things important, at least the heads in Washington?
No, very little, because really the action's on the state level. And so all of the things that you really are concerned about, whether it's education, housing, access to affordable health care, public protection, we really on the state level have the ability to address those issues. And so really we're kind of focused on the donut instead of looking at the whole.
I like the way and that's getting us hungry. It's almost lunchtime now. To that end, what are the people saying to you about the job that's been done so far? I mean, 100 days is going fast.
Yes, I mean, obviously, Andrea Stewart-Cousins is the leader of the Democratic Conference of the State Senate, and, Carl Hastie is the Speaker of the Assembly, have really done an amazing job partnering to get some really quality things done. We've done voter reform, the DREAM Act, Child Victims Act, gender. We banned conversion therapy, closed the LLC loophole, got early voting. Women's Reproductive Health Act all got done. So it's been some really, really important and exciting things that's got done so far. There's still a lot more to be done. We have to do something significant on criminal justice reform. We need to look and have more conversations around adult use cannabis and how do we do restorative justice around that. And certainly, no small matter is our budget.
I was going to say, you left one big thing out there.
Yeah, we have the third largest budget in the country after the federal government in the state of California, $175 billion. We really need to, both put money into the budget for the things that we want, like education, affordable housing, access to quality health care, but then also make sure that we get that money back to our communities. And for me, that means bringing it back to New York City, back to Brooklyn, and back to the 21st District.
Well, there's a minor shortfall that's being talked about as well.
Yeah, about $2.3 billion, which is all the money in the world for people like you and I. But within the context of a $175 billion budget, it's something that we can manage. The governor's indicated a plan for it. It looks feasible, and so we think that we're going to be able to deal with that without doing any significant cuts to service areas.
Have you got any more seminars this afternoon that you're working on?
No, absolutely. We're doing something on Bitcoin and that kind of Bitcoin.
Do people really have a handle on what it's all about?
No, but that's why we're doing a workshop on it, right? If people understood it perfectly, we would need to do a workshop, right? And so doing that blockchain conversation we think is important. Running now to a important conversation also on voting rights. There's more work to be done despite all the stuff that we've done. There's still some things that we need to do around voting rights, and so we're working on those issues as well.
A passionate servant of the people. Really great to see
I'm working hard at it. Thank you very much. I appreciate
you.
it.
I can tell that, and obviously our viewers can tell that too. From Brooklyn he comes. Thank you so much, Senator. It's great to see you. All the best to you. It's quite a time here. There's no question about it. That's the way it's going here for this day and a half worth of excellent interaction of legislators and their constituents. And for Meet the Leaders, I'm David Smith.